Football, those niggas tell you quick, hey, that eye and the sky do not lie. And that shit didn't though.
Hell no, coach.
But did y'all ever go back and look at practice film? Like for those purposes?
Only every day.
No. I know the coach ran through. I'm talking about y'all be like, nigga, look, I did you like this today.
Yeah. It say somebody fell or something funny happened on us. The coach is gonna rewind that shit. They're gonna be like, look at this. And they gonna circle it. And they gonna
make a joke about it.
Look at it.
Mustache, what the fuck are you doing?
Right. Every time.
Todd, that was so serious. That nigga made me look.
That nigga pointed with some authority.
Look at that shit. God,
I was like, hold up. I looked a little bit. I had to side eye that shit. What the fuck this nigga talking about?
Thought that nigga saw a Bud Light commercial. Look over there.
Right. Here we go. You tuning in to the Dummies Podcast. I'm Stock.
I'm Joe.
I'm Todd.
And the motherfucking hootie, nigga.
And we back like we never left. Cause like we say every week, we never leave. This is episode number 5. It's Saturday, October the 13th, baby. And we back finna do what we do. We got another live show we finna bring to you. Where we at, Hoop?
Shit, another week, you know what I'm saying? Just out here doing what we doing, enjoying it. But how was y'all week, man? Y'all had anything fun, anything going on?
Report cards, baby.
Yeah, man. I got some good report cards though. I'm glad I only got 2 report cards now that I think about it. I need to get one more and see what's going on. 2? Yeah, 2 girl. I got a 2 warrant. I told that nigga he get any C's, I'm taking the car.
Ooh, shit.
He hiding that because
that just made me thought about it. I only got 2.
That's what I'm saying. Like Jordan came home with that C, and boy, she lost everything. Boy, I don't play that shit. We don't make no C's around here. I told you can't be hey, but ain't that some fucked up shit? I'm telling her she can't make C, boy.
I
prayed for a C.
I was striving. A C is on that
hypocritical ass to get a C, goddamn.
Them 2018 hypocritical ass parent ain't lying, boy. I kept a C.
But we know what a C does.
Yeah,
makes you average.
Your average as fuck.
Fucking right. No, we can't.
I guess that's why I do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and happy birthday, moms.
Happy birthday, mom. Shout out
birthday,
mom's on a win streak.
I'm telling you,
birthday,
next
wedding.
Weekend she get married. So
Stepdad,
birthday today.
Shut up.
No, wrong.
Boy, look at her.
The wrong play, but
He gonna be in there like Melvin.
Nah.
Oh, baby boy. I'm trying to be nice to you,
and
nigga.
butter.
Want something from the stove?
It's crazy, man.
But man, I started off with a normal week and got some bad news. Had to fly to Chicago for death in the family.
Prayers to you and your family, my nigga.
Appreciate it. But I'm so tired of eating goddamn chicken. God damn. What is with death and chicken with niggas?
What else is there to eat?
Boxing.
Man, but I thought since I was in Chicago, I was going to get some good shit.
Like what?
Deep dish piece?
Deep dish pizza, the good chicken.
Hey, that deep dish pizza's not that great.
It's really not.
It's overrated.
And then when I go up there, we go to a different place, and it's regular pizza, but it's good as fuck.
Gotcha.
But they brought out like rotisserie chicken and
Niggas gonna nig.
I was like, man, I'm tired of pasta salad. I'm tired of this shit, man. But nah, man, it was all good. Though, even though it was for a bad event, you know, seeing your folks and all that, it was cool.
I was just about to say, how your folks doing?
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's a crazy question to ask, but they doing good considering.
That just be a question. You know, people don't always know exactly because everybody
you don't know what to say.
Different, and everybody take it a little different. So the kind thing to do is just, y'all all right? You good? You know.
I mean, I don't know what to say. I never really dealt with like death for real. Like my grandparents passed. I went to one funeral. After that, I ain't go to no more. So I guess that's how I deal with it. I kind of stay away from it.
For me, I'm a probably like I know when I go there, I got to deal with all of that. Mm-hmm. So when I'm for my people, like help me not deal, like jank me, play with, like let's do the normal stuff so I can be like in a normal situation. But again, everybody ain't.
You don't know how to do it like that.
Yeah, everybody ain't the same though. Mm-hmm. But sorry for your loss, my nigga. Moving into that next topic, I feel like some apologies are in order in store. We had a story last week about UAB football and the attendance of UAB football, and somebody told me, you know, that I was incorrect about the stats, that me and Huda was incorrect about the stats that were going out about attendance, and I'm not gonna say no more. I'm gonna let them do their part.
Fix your wrong. On the Dummies, we're gonna try and right our wrongs. So let us know when we're wrong, and if we're wrong, we're gonna right it. Right.
And me correcting the wrong. I'm sorry, ladies. I said monogram when talking about
it ain't funny, but
it's not funny. But ladies, hey, trust me, I knew it was a mammogram. But I said monogram in the heat of the moment. I do apologize. Don't go get them. Definitely don't go get a monogram. You want to go get a mammogram. So that's my correction from last week.
No engravings, goddamn.
But shouts out to my UAB Blazers for winning against Rice
5-1, baby.
42-0 today. Went up there and handled business. Locked the door.
Lock the door. What that mean?
He said that shit every week, though. I don't know.
I guess it has multiple meanings. The end, I guess.
But going back to last week, yes, they did average, I want to say, around 26,000 attendance for home games and what that was. Don't get me wrong twice. 2003, 4, around that time. Mm-hmm. So, yes, I was wrong for saying that. But fuck yeah.
That's all right. Players fuck up. We ain't going to stay that long. But Florida. Our thoughts and prayers are going out to the panhandle of Florida. We just left there. We just did a show of Dummies and Destin, which is Destin, what, maybe 30 minutes from Panama?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Residents of Florida Panhandle began taking in scenes of destruction Wednesday night, hours after Hurricane Michael slammed into the coast with a fury that's basically ranked among one of the most powerful storms ever to hit the United States. For those who don't know, we're from the Gulf Coast. Every last one of us in this room is from the Gulf Coast. Hooters over there from New Orleans. The rest of us come from Mobile. So hurricanes is nothing new to us. But a lot of the times when we see hurricanes get ready to slam into the coast, a lot of times people who aren't from here may say, well, why these people didn't run? And a lot of times what happens is we're used to these storms staying a 1 or 2. 1 or 2, you can fight it. You have a good chance of staying in there. You have a good chance of surviving. You basically, take care of your stuff, make sure there's no clutter around, and you can survive through that. The problem comes in that sometimes these storms are very unpredictable and they can change. They get in that warm water in the Gulf, and in the blink of an eye, those things go from 2 to 4, 2 to 5. A lot of the time we see them even weaken even then before they hit the coast. Michael didn't do that. Michael overnight turned into a category 4, which with winds sustained at 155 miles per hour, which is a category 4. A category 5 starts at 157 miles per hour. So it's only 2 miles short of a category 5. So this was a severe storm. Never seen in the panhandle of Florida. A storm this magnitude has never been seen. Did any of y'all see the pictures from, all the different media outlets and just see the devastation that was down on the coast?
I'm actually looking at the pictures now. But, yeah, I don't want anybody that's not from the Gulf Coast, making that statement. Because I understand why you would say that, but it's so frequent to us. You can't just pack up and move your whole family every time a storm comes up.
Expensive. Right.
Because like you said, a lot of nine times out of 10, it weakens before it touches land. Or as soon as it touches land, it drops down to a tropical storm. I can only remember 3-4 storms really in my life. But what was the game changer really was Katrina. Because that was the first time, all right, it was supposed to do this, it didn't, it hit. And everybody from the Gulf Coast always knew if a storm ever hit New Orleans, it was going to do that. That's always been out there. And just so happened it turned, because Katrina turned, and it did that. But Katrina was the one, after that, I tell my folks, hey, man, y'all come up here. Right. But as a kid, man, you're going to sit there, the power going to go out, you're going to have nothing to do but listen to the radio, if it's still on, and you're just going to ride it out and eat your little peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Right. Like you said, I lived 18 years of my life in New Orleans. And out of them 18, I never left. Not one.
Never.
And I deal with hurricanes multiple each year. The most we ever did was we went to the hotel. Maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
But outside of that, we at home chilling. We might lose some power. We might even go play in it. But Katrina did change things. The year after I left, of course, I was here. Parents still down there dealing with Katrina. They left the morning of. And we heard that every year. Like you said, people always say if a storm hit New Orleans, it's going to be over. But multiple storms have hit New Orleans.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily the storms. It was more so the levees and things of that not being upheld. So that's how that happened. That normal storm, it would have been a normal storm. Right. But I'm glad my parents didn't get out of there until the morning of. I don't know how they did it. how they got out.
Yeah, I don't know how they did.
Exactly. They got out the morning of, and they made it to Baton Rouge, then to Texas, and stayed in Atlanta for like 2 months.
And it's funny that you say what you said too, Joe, about us not really taking the storm serious when you were smaller. Hell, it was in your 20s when we were here. I can remember throwing hurricane parties. You know what I'm saying, at the House of the Living Dead. Shout out to the House of the Living Dead.
Damn, had them parties.
We would have hurricane parties. That's what we knew a hurricane was coming. We would get a collective group of folks over to the house, and we would just sit in there, play cards, drink, just have a party. Not taking the storm serious, but nothing of this magnitude has ever come this far up to the Birmingham area, and that's thankfully, you know what I'm saying? Looking at the images that Joe has pulled up, and I've seen them prior to, it's wreckage, man. Like it's like a ghost town.
Man.
You know,
it's amazing to see the power of these storms,
right?
And just to give more clarity too, we still stand on Michael. We still talking about Michael, but with Katrina, a lot of people forget, and people who aren't from this area may not understand that that was a really busy something. That was the most named hurricane summer we ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I remember my folks ran from 3 storms that summer.
Yeah.
Thinking that it was going to be an issue.
It's a lot of money.
Right. You have to gas up. You have to go wherever you're going, go 3-4.5 hours north to get away from the coast and stuff. And a lot of times with hurricanes, sometimes too, you flee north, but sometimes inland can be just as bad because they get inundated with tornadoes and stuff.
Right.
They don't get the winds that you may get on the coast and the water, but you get killed with tornadoes. You have to deal with tornado damage.
And Birmingham seen a lot of
people kept running. So when Katrina came, it was like, look, man, we done ran 3. They didn't do anything. They fizzled out. And that made a lot of people confident to try to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I want to add to it, I think the media plays a big part in this. I'm kind of sick of, I get that they have a job to do and they want to tell it, but I'm really, really, really sick of it. Like, if the wind is not blowing you over, don't show that it's blowing you over.
Right.
Stop scaring people, and then you see in the background people walking. And
Walking normally.
Right.
I know what clip you're talking about.
Yeah. Like, man, stop doing that, because if you hype everything up, people gonna stop like, man, don't stop doing it. And I think that's indicative of a lot of different things that the media has a lot to play. Tell what to do. Tell what to expect. Get people prepared, but stop over-exaggerating stuff. Now, in this case, it wasn't over-exaggeration.
No, it wasn't at all.
How do you benefit from that? That how do you
because people watch it and they say like, oh, look at that, and they want to keep watching it. You're basically drawing them in to the dramatization. Just like when people say based on true events, they're telling a true story, but they have to add little stuff to make you be like, oh wow. And some of it don't be true. It's just to make it more easier to watch or make people more,
Because I was in, because I was in Chicago, and Chicago natives was like, what's going on with the hurricane down there? I seen on such and such, because, it gets that national attention. So everybody's turning to CNN.
Right.
So viewership. And that's why they do it. Because, as much as you hate to say it, you want to see that destruction. You don't want to necessarily happen, but if it's going to happen, you want to view it.
Right, and I'm glad you said that, because I talked to a few people this week in like the Carolinas or New York or Philly, and that's the same question they ask. Hey, how's that hurricane? I was like, well, I'm not affected by it, but still pretty terrible. And
the other thing that I want to stop is I see people like, and I know they be playing per se, but people like, man, I want Michael to come here so I can be off work.
No,
man, you don't want that problem, man. Like I think it's one of those things that, man, when you wake up and you don't have a house to go back to,
that's crazy.
Like you literally don't have a home to go back to. Some of these people, all your money is invested. You buying $200,000 and $300,000 and $400,000 homes, and you go to it and it's no longer there.
Right.
You can't even go to the neighbor's house because their house not there.
Right.
It's water damage. Even anybody know anything about water? Once water seep into something, that's it. They got to get rid of all of it.
Yeah.
So, be mindful of what you're saying and be grateful that it didn't come to you. I know we be wanting a day off of work so bad, but that ain't the way to get it. That is not the way.
They just be wanting attention and crack jokes. That's about it.
But yeah, prayers go out to our people in the Panhandle of Florida. Our thoughts and prayers go with you.
Right.
Moving on into entertainment news, we saw that Disney gave fans a first look at the live-action version of the 1992 animated film Aladdin on Thursday, October the 11th. The film stars Will Smith as the genie, who originally was voiced by the late Robin Williams. Has anybody had a chance to see this? Aladdin was a very big movie, you know, especially when we was coming up. You know, it was good, and they're now bringing it back, but they got a couple of different new characters. Have y'all seen this trailer?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it. I'm
you can't wait to go see it. Huh?
You better know it.
Come on, Taylor.
You better know it.
Have Taylor with all her
that's
little
my
snacks,
excuse.
her little sipping
Me and
cups.
Taylor going to watch the movie.
Taylor gonna
Hey, I know that because I use Jordan a lot. To go to a lot of cartoon movies.
Taylor gonna be in the movie with her iPad. She ain't even worried about the movie.
Don't even know what Aladdin is.
Right.
Aladdin was dope though. As a kid, man, I probably had it on cassette, whatever the shit is.
The big cassette, the plastic.
big
When you
boy
remember
goddamn,
the cartoon ones had the little plastic.
I think I watched it until the tape ran out.
Right.
I think I was in there singing the songs a little bit too. Jafar was pretty cool at the time. Don't just say Jafar. How you get a name like Jafar?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wouldn't say he was pretty cool.
Jafar was a real nigga.
Jafar?
At that time, man, I kind of liked the villains of the movies.
The villains did have you intrigued back then.
Like even now, I like the Joker in the movie.
Yeah,
The Joker
now,
real.
but I mean, Aladdin, like he got the fine chick. He used to steal and give to the poor. Come on, man.
He was a winner.
He had a monkey. Monkey.
I think you gotta say monkey. When you say monkey,
yeah,
I
that
think
make
of
you-
something different.
I said how I said. They both the same to me. Man.
No.
He don't understand the difference
Yeah.
in the language.
I understand the difference in what you're saying, but to me, they both monkeys.
That's that New Orleans shit.
Monkey,
Let me get my catch back.
yeah,
we get it.
And
But-
my monkey.
But yeah, shouts out to Will Smith. Shouts out to Disney for bringing Aladdin back. You know, it's a lot of good movies that these little kids today can benefit from. A lot of us have kids. So yeah, shouts out to Disney for that.
Shouts out to Will Smith. Will Smith is a hell of a guy, man. Y'all
Will
follow,
Smith,
y'all follow his Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, but I see all the clips.
You
I've been
should.
meaning to.
You should. He just got on there recently. And
Yeah.
once I saw it, I was like, yeah, man, this nigga does a lot of shit.
But anything he do, it's like
It's cool.
everywhere.
And it's
But I'm just-
needed.
yeah.
You need voices like that to champion people, man, and give hope and give guidance for some. You know, some need it, some don't. You know,
Stop twerking, though. he be twerking. I need to be bending his whole back. Stop twerking, though.
Nah, I definitely don't want to see that. But moving on to music news, we saw that Drizzy Drake, my man Drake, he finally addressed his summer beef with Kanye West and Pusha T on Friday's night episode of The Shop. For people who don't know, The Shop is the show that we've talked about a couple of different times on here. It's with LeBron James and his long-term friend Maverick Carter. I know y'all have heard us talk about these boys. They got a new show called The Shop. And in The Shop, it's basically centered around barbershop and what goes on in the barbershop, just talking about politics, business, life, sports world, all these different things. And on this, the second installment of The Shop, Drizzy Drake stopped in to lend his commentary on the beef that we saw with him and Kanye, as well as him and Pusha T. And Drake cleared up a lot of things. Some of the issue back then was when Pusha T and Drake had their gripes or had their beef and they were going back and forth, a lot of people was curious as to know why Drake honed in more on Kanye than he even did Pusha T. And Drake cleared it up. He laid context to a lot of where that beef stemmed from, where it came from, and how he got there. If you haven't had a chance to see The Shop, please go look at it. It's a good show. It's relatable to all people. And it definitely has some good content. It's on HBO. Shouts out to HBO for carrying it. Have y'all had a chance to see The Shop interview and what was going down there?
Yeah.
What's y'all thoughts?
Yeah, man, I enjoyed it. I didn't watch the whole episode. I watched bits and pieces. I really just watched the Drake interview part of it. I think it was a pretty dope interview. That's my first time actually seeing Drake in the interview open up in that manner. I'm not very big, like you can say recently. I always use test. I ain't about to watch no goddamn interview. I don't know why. I just never watched interviews. But what I took from this interview was I was one of those people who was like, why is Drake on that Kanye? So I'll right my wrong on that. But I did need to hear this to know. Like he actually said, hey man, he invited me to Wyoming at the time. Like when we heard about Wyoming, we knew that Kanye was recording an album in Wyoming. But when Drake hears about it, he doesn't know that. So he thinks he's going there to get some production, get some beats. But yeah, when he gets there, he's helping him with his album.
And to that, I will say that we heard about Kanye being in Wyoming after the fact to record it for an album.
Mm-hmm. Right.
These
That's what I'm
boys
saying.
was they doing it in real time.
Right. Yeah, they
so
do it before.
yeah, he didn't necessarily know that's what Kanye was working on.
Right. So, so that's what I'm saying. Basically, he went there to think he's going to get production for his Scorpion album.
Right.
And also, he's Kanye like, you got to open up. You got to tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you got going on. Yeah, that's suspicious. But Drake was like, hey, I'm going to do it.
Right.
And then went in there, he did it, told him about his album date, release date, the name of it.
Told him about his son.
Told him about his son, showed him pictures. I don't know if it was pictures yet, but he told him about the son and also, you know what I'm saying, his release date. And then you know what Kanye did? Came here, put his team's 7-song albums, release date here before it, release date right after it, another release date after that. So he's basically like, this nigga bamboozled me.
Right.
So, as you say that, and I mean, so it must go to like, that was Kanye's plan from the jump.
Yeah, exactly. But
I mean,
Drake
you
didn't know
definitely had to plot that out.
And that's why I fully understand why Drake went at him now.
But if, and then I don't want to speak on it, but if Kanye was doing it for the reasons that speculated, Drake should have known that.
Why?
If the speculations are true, Drake should have known, don't trust him.
Did you?
What speculations are you
like
talking
before
about
it
that
happened?
Drake would have known.
Like before it happened.
Okay, so it's speculations that Drake slept with Kim. But if that's true, you should have known.
But if that's not true, then I wouldn't know.
Right. Because we still don't, it's still speculation.
Right.
That's true too.
Right,
You're right.
So again, these people are dealing with what's real in their life, not what's going on blog sites and what people are speculating. I'm going here, and this is what my issue with it from the jump is if I'm working with you and me and you are supposed to be cool and we working on my album, you come to me and say, hey, I want to work on your album. Because I was one of the ones I always understood why Drake went at Kanye. I could tell, like from jump. I don't know if it was maybe just from being in that world or just kind of knowing a little bit about it. I don't know, but
I'm going to say woman's intuition.
nah, I don't
Yeah, that's probably what it was. Yeah. Your woman's intuition.
Say what you want, but I'm a real nigga. That's all I know. But look, all I'm gonna say was like, just from jump, if I'm working with you and you asking me all this information, I could just tell the way he went at Kanye, it was something personal.
Right.
He didn't focus really on Pusha T because it was nothing personal there. That was just like you hear people say, oh, that's industry stuff. Yeah. That's what I think him and Pusha T was. It was industry stuff. But the way he went at Kanye, you could tell that it was personal.
But let me ask you something. So would you tell someone something that personal that's just really an industry friend?
Kanye wasn't. That's
Just
what Drake was telling you. That wasn't his industry friend.
Right.
So he felt like they was like real friends.
I use this example over and over again. It's just like, I used to rap back in the day. Huda has Scholar used to rap. If I'm going to Huda and I'm telling Huda like, look, man, this my plans, this my rollout, and I've only told Huda, you see what I'm saying? I've only told Huda these plans. I've only told Huda this thought after Huda asked me to tell him. And Huda's artists turn around and know everything that I said and attack me in a diss song with it. I really don't care about who the artist as much as I care about who I can find it in.
Right. But I was saying Huda's your guy. But I'm just saying so did Drake really think Kanye was his friend?
I guess so.
Just watch the shot.
If he did it, I guess so.
I can't speculate. I can only go off what Drake said.
Yeah.
Because he's the person that was there. According to Drake, it seemed like that they had a relationship, that they was cool, and he was trusting him enough to open up about those little things. Right. He didn't necessarily say they was best friends, but he said what Kanye said, which would make sense, that in order to produce your album, I need to hear everything. Because I could give you songs that's not even in the vibe of your album, so I do need to hear it. Kanye wasn't wrong by that, but to turn around and use that shit and snake him with it, shit.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I get why he went at Kanye ass.
Right. And on a side note, how do you feel about Pusha using it, knowing it came from that?
Well, listen, man, that's a code of ethics here. Ain't none of us gonna do none of that bitch shit that man did. Period. Whether it's Pusha T,
I nigga anger about that one,
or Kanye.
Seriously,
and I'm gonna be honest with you, because that nigga on some weird, he on some weird shit right now. Man.
Yeah, that's
real talk. And we'll discuss
it's not weird.
What else he got going on later on.
You don't think it's weird?
Kanye shit?
Listen. I don't think it's weird.
We'll get there. I just want to talk about this.
But I'm talking about
we're not gonna miss it.
I'm not doing that no more. I think it's weird because
we're not gonna miss it.
He's bipolar. Now go ahead. That's why I don't think it's weird. I think he's bipolar.
You can.
I was saying to Pusha T, and I fully agree with Todd that getting that information, I'm like, man, I ain't finna use that like that. Because I was like, that's pussy how you got it.
I agree with that.
I think that, and I'm not saying that it was right. I wouldn't.
It's battle though.
I think with Pusha was like, I'm finna use this to sell records.
Exactly.
I'm finna use this to, make more records. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Drake didn't really go at him like that, because it was industry stuff.
Right. He knew it.
But he went at the person who
was responsible for it.
Right. And that was that he personally confided in.
Now, he ain't talk to
you
Pusha
are
T.
responsible.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I get it. And I come full circle. I get it.
Right. And you said it, so it's cool. You know what I mean?
But before we leave there, do you think that's gonna affect LeBron? They said that Drake's a curse. Look at Kentucky. Look at the nigga who just got beat up.
Nothing. Look, let me tell y'all something.
LeBron
is a machine.
Right now.
That nigga got production going. We talk about
No, I ain't talking about all that. I'm just talking about basketball. I'm not outside of basketball.
I'm going there.
But you talking about production.
Right, because all of this shit add up. I'm talking about everything that he got going is not finna be affected. You can't stop Brown on the court, period. Nope. I don't care about them Kentucky niggas.
So where they win? You think Brown gonna win?
And Bron done winning championships anyway.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying, guys.
He done winning them.
That's all I'm saying. He good. That was my whole point of what I was saying. Angry man. Shit, man.
Yeah, but Kanye's a bitch.
Damn.
And I'm through with it.
What Kanye did to
I
you?
think Pusha T. I think you got to put Pusha T in that same. I mean, not as much, but in that category too. That was some whole shit.
With them being the group of bitches, then.
A group of
bunch of
that same vibe,
that same energy. With Pusha T pull up with the grandma braids.
You got a lot of fights out there. You got Joe Budden. You got
ain't gonna whoop me.
you gotta
You're gonna get jumped by the industry.
He got a lot of fights out there.
I mean, is that not a fact?
In music news, we saw my man Lil Wayne. He performed a Monday night football game at halftime. It was the New Orleans Saints versus the Washington Redskins. Did y'all have a chance to see my man performing at halftime?
Yes.
I saw him perform in Hood. Nigga was in the Hood. I was wondering. I was like, Lil Wayne. I was like, everybody look, Lil Wayne. This nigga's recorded that shit a week ago. Oh my God, that nigga recorded that shit. It was straight though. He was in the Hood. Had a little park. Them niggas beat the shit out of us. Every time we ever made it to the playoffs, the park he was at, Harrell Park, nigga beat the shit out of us in Lily. I think it was dope.
Nigga, flashback then.
Right.
Yeah, cuz I almost knocked tired ass out. Just
gonna get him just cuz.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tackle the dude.
Now who was the aggressive one?
I ain't never say I wasn't, but I be calm with it. I think it was a dope performance. I did see a lot of people say, why Wayne couldn't perform at halftime actually, and I got it. Because, man, there's too much shit he gonna have to probably bring out there for the halftime of a regular game that they got to get out of there in 3 minutes.
Right. NFL halftime ain't number 22 seconds long, but them boy go out there, drink Gatorade, and come back, goddamn.
He gonna, unless he just have a mic on the emblem in the middle of the field, which Wayne ain't doing.
Right. Man, I ain't watch it.
Why not?
I meant to. I mean, I really did mean to, but I just didn't get around to it, and I forgot about it.
I feel you.
But it was pretty dope, though. I'm with you. Taking it back to your roots and where you're from, that was the dopest part to me. And then he had looked like the community in the video for real. So
community in the kids.
Is that like a hot point in New Orleans? Because like when we was there that time, it was jumping over that.
Well, yeah, they have a lot of second lines and Super Sundays and things of that nature, as well as for Mardi Gras or parade season. It's always jumping. So
yeah, it was going down when we went down there.
But when it's regular, just a regular time of the year, the summer, it's more than likely going to be a second line.
Yeah, shouts out to Wayne, man. He's still showing his reach, performing on a Monday night halftime. You don't really see that often, especially during a regular season game. So Wayne's still showing his power. I've never seen it.
I ain't seen it.
Yeah, shouts out to Wayne on that one. We saw that my man Quavo of the Migos. Quavo dropped his album. Has anybody had a chance to listen to Quavo? Because I listened to it, but has anybody else listened to the actual Quavo album?
Yeah, man. I of course I listened to it. I had a change of heart about it. Like when me and Stock first listened to it, Stock actually told me, man, indeed, when Stock first said that, he was like,
say what Stock said.
I'm telling you my process. But like Stock listened to it and he was like, man, these beats are amazing. Where these niggas get these beats from? Shit like that. So I went into it with high expectation. And then once I listened to it, I tell you like, man, this ain't it. I was in the gym, I want to say Friday morning, in the gym, listened to it. Like, this ain't it. But On my way here, I got right, had me a drink. I wasn't in workout gym mode. Had me a drink on my way here. I listened to it. Yeah, I think it's a pretty smooth, cool album. I got to a point to where I took it for what it was for. It's not to made to be, and I came off of listening to Wayne and Kevin Gates and T.I. It's not that. So it is what it is. They're more lyrical geniuses, where these Migos and guys like this are simple geniuses at what they do. But that's what I took it for.
And I think that's what threw me off, because I was ready to be rocking and be upbeat and up tempo, and it was more laid back than what I expected. I'm gonna listen to it again. I'm gonna give it another shot. I'm gonna give more of an in-depth analysis of it next week. My first initial, it wasn't what I expected. You know, the beats was definitely good. You gonna always get good beats from them. But as far as like the songs, I was kind of, I don't know. I just kind of was left hanging on a lot of the songs. So I'm gonna see where he at with it. But even in saying that, do we want Migos to be? I know for us, like, I mean, for them, it's business to do that. Like, do your thing. Show your range as an artist. But would we prefer Migos as a group? Because we've been hearing about Quavo about to drop this solo for a minute now. You know what I mean? And everybody making solo projects. I wasn't too impressed with my first listen. Again, I'll be back next week to tell you more of an in-depth listen because it just dropped Thursday night, Friday morning. Yeah. So I'll give them more in-depth next week. But do we want to hear Migos separate or?
Selfishly, they need to be a collective. It makes more sense. It makes better songs. Even the songs on this album, when they're featuring one of the other Migos, it's the better song.
Yeah.
It's the better song. So.
Yeah, it need to be a collective because it's two niggas and it's a nigga that sound like Gucci. So, but I still don't be knowing which one it is. So it's definitely need to be a collective. And they just work better. And they albums not, I mean, like, I just wait for their singles. They have amazing singles. As far as their album cuts, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear the Migos album cuts. I damn sure don't want to hear Quavo album cuts.
And then you said neither then, right?
Right.
Okay. Because you said the Migos, but I'll say I get it from a bit. It's smart because all of them should let out their individual projects for the simple fact that all of them are going to get listened to.
Well,
every last one of them.
I beg to differ there, buddy.
Maybe not
about
about you.
I'm going to tell you what I didn't do. Listen to that shit.
I'm going to make sure I drill it. Like I catch back. I'm going to drill it in your head Tuesday, nigga.
Why you doing Quavo like that?
Hey, man. Okay. Here's the thing with that, man. It's not that I'm against the whole millennial movement or anything like that, because I'm not. I went back with the Dope Bar Raw thing. I even listened to a couple of the
You like that old racist. I got one black friend.
I got one young rapper.
I listen to one young rapper.
I listen to one young nigga.
But see what it is, man, with
that
me,
nigga 30.
I'm not.
Old ass nigga.
That nigga 30, goddamn.
I'm not, no, man, seriously though, but I'm not in a part. They make party music to me. And every day is not a party for me, baby.
Okay, I'll tell you.
You know what I'm saying?
Stock just said that's what he expected from Quavo, but that's not what it is. So at least give it a shot.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll give it a shot.
Yep, because it definitely wasn't what you used to hearing from the Migos.
Right.
It was just a little different. I'm not saying that it's like, again, I'm a digest it some more, but it just wasn't that up-tempo thing that I thought
what
that I was finna get.
the Migos bring.
Right.
Okay.
And also about the a couple of the songs on there, the Nicki song. At least the song that we think is about Nicki and the media saying is about Nicki. I wonder if it's any truth. No, I won't wonder. I'll say I think there is some truth in it because of some of the stuff that she said on one of her Queen radio shows about how she loves Quavo and how she adored him and how when the motorsport beef came about, how she went to Quavo to confide and be like, hey, you need to take up for me. They line on me. So I said all that to say that I do think a lot of the stuff in the Quavo song is true. And I think it's in response to Nicki's song, the Queen Dream song, which was a parody or whatever you want to call it, but it's a response to it with truth.
I should have went back and listened to. Did Nicki say anything about him on her version?
Queen Radio?
No, on her song.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
I
just know she said somebody.
I just think what he was talking. I did listen to that song this morning, but I just think that was some sucker shit to talk about what you did or didn't do well, it's okay to say what you didn't do, but what you did with the woman in public like that.
If we know that that's what happened.
I think it's still. I think it's still some sucker shit no matter what.
I don't. If it's a parody, and if you're just joking and making songs,
I don't think it's funny to say you skeeted on a woman's face if you didn't. I don't see why. But even if you did, that's still sucker shit.
He said that.
Yeah,
I ain't hear that part.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't pay attention to that part, so I don't know.
That was the part. That's really the part I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
I think that's sucker shit. If it happened, if it didn't happen, it's even more sucker shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear that, but even still, Nicki said a lot of shit in her song that we was like, hey, that's just funny. That's just
because it was just funny.
So if he's doing the same thing, which I don't know if he is or isn't, if he's just doing the same thing, I don't see a problem with it. But if it really happened, then yeah, it's sucker shit.
Yeah.
What was the song after that? The Drake song. I wonder, yes. Can Juvenile sue these niggas for sounding like him?
No.
Why not? If people can sue Robin Thicke for sounding like them.
No, they're suing Robin Thicke because they're using his sample. They're using Marvin Gaye's sample.
And the beats. Marvin Gaye's estate is suing him because he used a sample of a beat. That's a production. Somebody made that.
But John Legend, I want to say John Legend got sued from the same estate or some shit for the sound wise.
You can't sue somebody for taking your rhythm. I know. Like words, big lines and all of that.
They did
cool. Even if you try, don't get me wrong, man, you can sue for anything.
Right. DJ, do me a favor. Please, I'm sorry. Please look up and see why John Legend got sued by Marvin Gaye.
Look that up. It was a sample. When we talking about something.
It was from samples.
It was a sample.
Yeah,
for clearing samples.
Was it samples or sounding like them?
No, it was samples.
It was beats. They was mad about beats. You can definitely go at somebody's throat for beats. But you can't sue somebody for if that's the case. You know what? If that's the case, I just look at different things. You can't sue somebody for trying to sound like you or taking a rhythm that you used. You can't. Period. I don't care what you say. Again, now saying that you can sue for anything. People sue because they cough it too hot. That don't mean you're gonna win just because you try to sue.
She won.
No, you're not gonna win.
She got McDonald's for a lot of money. I'm talking about.
The first person did.
That's because back then they didn't have hot caution sign on there. You see what I'm saying? They didn't tell you that it was hot.
Just like when Drake made that. You remember that song he made that with the back that ass up?
Yeah, and that's why I was going with that because
I'm pretty sure he. Well,
and I also have another point about
they got it cleared.
I'm tired of niggas taking that sound, that specific sound. Stop sounding like that. Let that shit go. But let my man live on through his own stuff.
I think that's kind of a homage thing. Right. I like it. Like I like when
I hated Quavo's verse on there with that.
Well, maybe Quavo, but I like when Rick Ross did that song kind of like using a bigger rhythm on that on his album.
Yeah,
right. So that's what I'm saying. That
hasn't been done 40 times.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Whether it has or hasn't, like if I'm an artist, you can't tell me who to look up to. Like if I want to pay homage to that, like you can't tell me who to pay homage to. So that's how I look at that. But I'm just simply saying, like, I get what you're saying. I don't think that it's been overly used, but
that particularly, I think so.
Yeah,
I think we hear that more than any other homage paying. I think.
It's a good song, and it keeps living on. So that's just a shout out to them boys on what it was that they did. So, staying in music news, we saw that my man Kodak Black recently, was released from jail. My man is all over the social media, whether it's his commentary on wanting to be married, whether it's my man saying he ain't got no money, that them be fake racks, whatever be the case that it be. We see my man Kodak Black is making splashes, and he just dropped a new single on us called ZZ featuring Travis Scott and Offset. Have y'all had a chance to listen to that?
Yeah, and every time I do the little stupid meme dance.
You got to
let me make it stupid meme dance. But I wonder why it's called ZZ if he never says that word in the song at all. I mean, he's like, you gotta make up Z. You gotta make up Z. Some shit like that.
Who knows?
Nothing he's doing is making sense right now.
Nothing at all. Stocker Diamonds thought he had it all planned out.
I still think he's gonna have a great album.
Nah, you say he had it all planned out.
You still think album?
I
the same percentage?
I think his album is going to be okay, though.
I said that he's going to have a good album. And I said that I think that going from jail, he's going to be focused on his album. I don't care about the antics. I said the album was going to be good.
Right. And
I'm still saying that.
Well, I think you also said that he had it all figured out. He's not just going to go out here and do
his music
and do sucker shit. And he's going to focus. He's going to get in the studio and do the right thing.
I'm saying studio, that's a music, right?
All his music still hasn't
I'm talking about his music.
But all of his music hasn't been good either that he put out. Because I remember specifically there was a couple songs we threw in here, and I made a funny. I was like, man, he gonna do these songs. He could have went and did them shows he turned down because they was trash.
That's what you said, but I've liked a lot what I've heard.
I haven't liked anything I've heard.
Right, and that's cool. But I still think my point. I do like what I was saying is that he's gonna have a good album, and I'm still saying.
I hope you do.
Yeah,
I like him.
I like him too.
I mean, I think we all like him.
I like him because I think the little nigga doesn't care. I don't think he needs to just sit down and just focus specifically on music because I think he can do it all. And I think him being busy is good for him.
Right. And he definitely needs a trainer.
I got him. Yeah, I like the dance while he fat though. I like the dance while he fat.
Did you say you need a trainer?
Yeah.
I train. Hey, Kodak, you need a trainer. Hit me.
My man eating good and bad.
Still staying in music, man. It's a lot of hotbeds in music, man. The 2018 American Music Award winners list came out. Did anybody even have a chance to? I missed them, but did y'all get a chance to look at the American Music Award?
I missed them too.
Man,
I seen the winners, and you might as well call them bitches the Taylor Swift Awards because she took a whole lot of them bitches home.
She did. Taylor Swift, what did she win? She won Artist of the Year. Mm-hmm. Taking that over Drake, Post Malone, Ed Sheeran.
How is Post Malone in that category?
I have no idea.
You know how you use it.
Post Malone.
I don't know. What else did Taylor Swift get in it? Taylor Swift won Tour of the Year. She definitely took the winnings in Tour of the Year. Taylor Swift won Favorite Female Artist. She took that over Cardi B. I don't think that, me personally, I think Cardi B deserved that, but whatever. That's who they gave it to. Taylor Swift also won the Favorite Album with Reputation. Shouts out to Carter for Favorite Rap Hip Hop Artist. And that's just a couple of them, you know, for the full list. You'll definitely have to look at WXLmagazine.com for a full list. But it basically, like we said, Taylor Swift did take home a lot of hardware.
But look, in that, she got Tour of the Year.
Over Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Yes,
I mean,
that's big.
That's because we don't pay attention.
Bruno Mars.
I would think Bruno. I would think Bruno.
Man, I looked at Bruno Mars tickets before, boy.
That nigga be cleaning up, man.
That nigga be raking it in. How the fuck do you beat Bruno Mars in the tour?
Right, but the AMAs, I didn't miss them because I didn't know that they were happening. I did see some things, and the thing that caught my eye the most is that the Migos won Best Rock Pop Group.
They are in a different genre. They're not just
they're not just hip hop.
They're not, but rock pop, that's like Metallica and shit like that.
Well, they're pop.
It's just like Swayze Lee and them.
Yeah, but as far as watching the AMAs, Ty, hit me with it. Hit me with it one time.
You know what I'm not
gonna do?
And they said, this don't seem like what nobody did because that's the lowest ratings ever for the AMAs.
I'm just not a big award show. I don't care what award show.
BET, none of that shit. I watch the clip.
I'm just not really.
I watch BET.
I'm not watching.
I like watching it live time.
Somebody
my boy had
real fresh.
My boy put his hoodie back on. Let me tuck my Converse socks in. That nigga took his socks in.
Boy, my man got his eyebrows.
My boy got on them WWF wrestling shoes.
That nigga put his hands in his pocket. Let me fix my posture.
Get him up off you, DJ.
We ain't say no names, man. We ain't say no name. We ain't gonna criminate.
My nigga fresh though.
But yeah, man, I'm just not a big award show fan, man, and so you know, like Can't Get Right said, I'm just not really watching it, you know. Moving on, man. To our topic of the week. I'm finna ask y'all niggas some questions, man, and I just want y'all to keep it real with me. You know what I'm saying? It's just us. We say this podcast, it's just us and how we talk, right?
It's really not just us, but I'm gonna try to be.
It's just us. I said it's just us.
It is right now.
Yeah.
So that's
whatever. It's just us. So look, man. Back in the day, we like to say back in the G, but back in the day, man. Were you niggas some daters? Did y'all go on dates? And if y'all did, what kind of dates y'all used to go on? I'm gonna say it say 20 to 30, but I'm a shorten that 30 up. I'm gonna say 20 to 27.
5. Say 20 to 25.
20, 25, 20, 27, wherever you was. What kind of dates you niggas used to go on?
I'm gonna stand at 20 to 25 because I was married with my wife since 25. So 20 to 25.
You can tell about the married dates.
I went on plenty dates.
Nigga
But
went outside to watch the ducks.
I was just about to say that. My dates were to
Nigga, we had them ducks, the little pond back.
the bread. You go out there with the bread, you good, nigga. Have
Nigga had a picnic in the apartment complex.
half a loaf of old bread, you good.
Yeah.
But my dates mostly consist of we went to the living room.
And I was gonna say that.
That was movies, goddamn. We went to watch the movie.
Netflix and chill. Huh?
It was before Netflix.
DVD and chill.
My favorite date was Arbor Miss and Love and Basketball.
Arbor Miss, huh?
Auburn Miss.
Arbor Miss and Love and Basketball.
Why would you drink such a thing?
Cause that's what they wanted to drink. That ain't what I was drinking.
Nigga, I made them drink Belvedere, nigga. Belvedere and whatever I was drinking, that's what you were drinking.
Nah, y'all gotta remember at that time we
drunk Belvedere.
I drank Belvedere.
Yeah.
During this time frame.
20?
20 to
I drank Belvedere.
Yeah.
No, bro, 20. We'll still drink a gin at 20. Let's keep it a buck now.
I stopped drinking gin before
18
college.
and 19, and
It was over.
I got gin out of that at 19 because it was causing too many problems.
Yeah, man.
Bumpy face.
Bumpy face.
bumpy
Yeah,
face.
boy, we got that bumpy face out of there.
Bumpy face is
Switch to
top- and that-
Belvedere.
It
and that
all
top.
go into one, so I can't never remember like when it changed.
Just one big blur, huh?
Yeah. But you know, that Applebee's date was always a go-to. That was when like she was really like, you liked her like that.
Applebee's, huh?
But just the average chick you met in the club, hey, you want to come over here and watch the movie? And when that certain scene got into Love and Basketball, then hey,
What was hey?
It was hey.
it was just hey.
Hey, okay. I feel
Stop. What about you, man?
Who, me?
Yeah, what's your look like?
Stop. Hey, all I wanted was grands. Hey, man, for real, though, like, I don't want to be a broken record. I mean, I'm not going to get on here a lot because they may comment up under that motherfucker, but I wasn't going on no date. I'm sorry. You had to goddamn pass the litmus test to get a date for me.
I'm actually sorry, goddamn.
Huh?
I'm sorry that I did it that way, but I did
I'm
it that
sorry,
way.
yeah, I wasn't mature enough. I was trash. I'm going to just tell you straight up. Nigga, we wasn't going on no date.
Hell no.
Hell no.
But-
A
but-
date? Nigga, you had to pass
You getting time.
You had to pass a lot of background check before I went on a date. Because, man, for real, I guess it was because you know what I'm saying? I had a lot of, friends that I was cool with that was girls. Like, you know what I'm saying? From the chicks that came up here from LaFleur with me, you know what I mean?
Right.
From high school. And I used to hear their stories. And I'd be like, I would never be that guy. I would I would never be the guy that you just got the free chicken wing dinner at Applebee's from
It's they
just
fault.
for the fun of it.
It's they fault.
Yeah.
It's
You
they
ain't
fault.
finna
They in there killing
friend
us.
zone me and you just gonna go on a date just because you bored.
Girl, guess what this nigga did?
Before we went on a date, you loved me.
This nigga took me to the movies. He took me to Siren. Then he took me to a bar.
yeah.
That nigga a sucker, girl. Damn, we thought that was a good dude.
But I remember like years later, a chick said, all I wanted was to go on a date. Like, you wouldn't even take me to Al's. Man, you know how popping the Al's was?
Yeah, but you
Nobody
walk-
finna be taking you to Al's.
You used to walk in that bitch nervous.
You get seen at Al's?
Yeah, it's a lot
And
of
for
people.
y'all that don't know, this is a
It's the hot spot on
UAB
campus.
staple.
Hey,
And it was,
a
we could
city
walk
staple,
to it.
nigga.
Yeah, a city
Birmingham
staple.
City staple.
I was in Purple Onion, right
And
next
you
door.
don't know, it was open 24 hours. You don't know who gonna come in there. You think I'm gonna take you on a date to Al's?
Walk into your old hood chicks and them, man. They in there going to Al's
yeah.
after the club, man. That was the place to go.
No,
Nah, but-
that was
Hey,
not
the
gonna
reason
happen.
why I asked you that though, Stock, because we were pretty much on the same thing, man. Like I was in that relationship for a while, but once I got out of there,
Oh, by being on the
when I
same thing.
Hold on.
when I
He
got out of that
didn't already-
relationship,
he didn't
boy,
already-
Boy,
Hold on. I got questions already.
All right.
He didn't already.
Let him say a thing, though.
But he didn't already say where it's different. This long-term relationship. How old were you at this time?
man, it was just, man, pretty much my whole time at UAB, man.
Okay.
Chef Boy,
So that's where it different.
So, but once that was over,
Water whipping.
once that was over, and I was out here, oh, we weren't going on dates. We can sofa sit all day.
So you was a good
and
guy in
DVD
college?
watch.
Yeah, he was a good guy in the bad times.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think it was a good guy during the time he was supposed to be a bad guy.
You know what? No, man. Fuck that. I was not a good guy. I was not a good boyfriend at all. I was the
Don't
worst.
change it
Man,
now.
you was the only nigga I knew who was cooking for them. I heard about it.
That nigga got 8 pots going.
My man had, hey, you know you a good cook when you got all the eyes lit. And it's a pot on every eye. Todd told me, that nigga said, hey, she cooking for me, bro.
Yeah.
We broke in that room and see my man. My man had a pot on every eye,
listen.
and he had 2 forks in his hand stirring that thing.
You had an apron on, my nigga.
Every time you bring this up, man, my story never changes, man. It's the same thing. You walked in at a time when she was in the shower. And I was stirring it up.
Yeah.
It never changes.
We just so
man.
happened to time it out right.
It never changes. Man.
How did he just?
So how can I be lying if my story never changed?
Hey, but hey, that's cool, man. That's a good date, man. Your date,
It wasn't no date.
It's okay, man.
That was the norm.
It's efficient, like cost efficient.
Hey, man, tell me some of
Give me
y'all.
your question. Go ahead.
Tell me some of y'all dorm room tricks.
What you mean?
I used to take the chair out the room, so you had to sit on the bed. Tell me some of y'all dorm room tricks.
Dorm room tricks.
That red light was on for me and Cash Money. You knew it was action time, so come on that side.
My
that
trick-
red light was on one side of the room. It was a portable light. You pick that thing up, plug it up on your side. You knew it was action on that side. Do it on my side, same thing. And we were lucky enough to have roommates that were like never there or either just stayed in their room.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Cash Money, we bashed in our room.
I got lucky because the trick was my roommate was a soccer player.
No action on that.
No action, or I don't know who. And he was Mexican. He was cool though. He was cool.
Yeah.
He had tats on his neck at that time like that.
Yeah.
I hope he on shape, but he was cool. But it was him. It was him and Marcus. Marcus ain't want to do nothing but watch WWE.
And Dragon Ball Z.
WWE and also other man.
What was your trick?
But it wasn't worse than a nigga, like, it's a bunch of niggas in the common area playing Madden, and it was that nigga that wanted to jank all the time, and you trying to bring somebody through real quick. Like, nigga, man, you don't get your ass on. Look what the fuck I got going
I ain't had to
on
worry
right
about that. All I did was say, y'all niggas got to go. Because it was in my room, so y'all niggas got to go.
Yeah.
Just
So
put
the
'em out.
bottom line, that age period, it really wasn't a whole lot of dating going on.
not at all.
But I mean, even when you, okay, fine. Y'all wasn't doing a lot of dating, but what was the purpose? What was the reason why you was getting rid of your dates? Like, if they had the potential, why was you scratching them off the list?
They was busy crying about going on dates.
So why didn't you just take them on a date?
Because you was whining about going on dates.
I just told
Honestly,
you why.
it never crossed my mind.
You didn't pass the litmus
Let me
test.
tell you how
never crossed
backward,
my mind.
let me tell you how backward we was then. If you never said anything about a date, there was a good chance you probably would get a date.
Right.
But if you kept fussing about a date, it was a good chance that your ass wasn't getting one.
Right.
And for to be out of there.
Said that to say that it was weird, but you can't ask us for stuff. If you ask at that time, if you ask us, we gonna be like, nah, she just want this,
Right.
want that. But if you don't, we gonna want to give you
I mean,
everything.
but the reality of the situation was you didn't have a whole lot to fucking give.
Right.
Hell no.
Shit.
Hell no,
There was-
funds was low and you want to go on a date?
Right.
Nigga had $50.
Nigga, I gotta go to the club tonight.
And I wasn't the creative nigga. Like, I don't know shit.
Oh, no.
Yeah, still to this day, nigga, I don't.
Movies.
The picnic basket, nigga, like, I don't.
you
I
want-
need money to go on a date. So
wanna-
if it ain't money, then hey, we ain't going.
My dates consist of, you want sushi? That's my date. Want some sushi? We'll go to the movie. But we've been a little bit more active lately. I actually like getting out, you know what I'm saying, my girl. That should be cool.
And I ain't gonna lie, I am a good dater now. Cause like, you know, we go to our type of shit
I won't
now.
say I'm good because I'm still trash. I am better. I will go on a date. I'm better.
Yeah, you will go on
So,
a
yeah,
date.
I'm better.
Yeah.
But I'm
But
still
it-
trash.
it-
I have to say he's still trash.
I'm I'm better
It's cool,
trash.
I get it. I
Like
get
Todd said, I'm better trash.
Hey,
Oh, he said there is no better
There
trash.
is no better trash.
And I told him it's better trash.
Yeah, man, that shit just used to be hard, man.
Right.
And- but it was mainly because when you listen to people talking, it was mainly because the reaction you used to get. Take them on a date, do all that shit, and they be like,
He caking.
he cake it. Right. Nigga.
He took me out.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah?
I don't even like that.
$38.
We had to get to know each other real well before a date ensued.
But the first couple of times after I got your number in the club, yeah, you coming to the
But
you
you know
coming to
what?
the house.
And that brings me to another point.
Were y'all number in the club, guys? I never really got.
I was
numbers.
big number in the
never
club
that.
guy.
I wasn't a number in the club,
man.
guy.
Look,
Never.
I was very. It was very rare that I just walked up to him like, "Hey, what's your number?" Now hell no.
Number in the club, guy.
I was big number in the club.
Yeah, nah, I ain't-
I'm a dance with you for about a song,
I used to
about a
hate that
half a
shit.
song.
You know, Stock tried to talk to me. Hell nah, you tried to talk to me.
Right.
By the time you came, by the time I got your number, you probably initiated that shit.
Right. Like, I think majority of my flirts kind of happened over time. Like, it was mainly
that
people I've seen. Yeah, that slow flirt. Hey, how you doing?
The people that was in your area.
That's mainly the people. I don't think I ever just
but
ran
like the club number shit, it never really panned out as much as like you seeing somebody regularly, like you said, you slow flirt with them. Because that's where it really happened.
Nigga just came up with the slow flirt.
The slow flirt.
The slow flirt was trill though. Like, you just slowly wind it in.
And then you're like, oh no, yeah, she like me.
Yeah, like slow flirt meaning I saw her in a class last semester. That shit could be going on that long sometimes. Last semester.
Just like he said with the slow flirt, if they was crazy as fuck, you had to do the slow fallback.
Hell yeah.
Remember the slow fallback?
Yeah.
You had to goddamn, you couldn't just abruptly get rid of them. You had to slowly ease that shit back. Otherwise, they're gonna be at your doorstep.
Right. Or like Man Mobile playing tonight.
or on your balcony on the second floor. Oh, that happens. But it happens.
The balcony, the second floor.
That's crazy.
Spider-Woman.
Right.
Of the second floor, guys.
Hell, you were doing.
But you know what? That brings me to another point. Because you niggas, especially Todd, especially Hootie,
I don't know what you're talking about.
especially me. Oh, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. We talking about these dates. We talking about all this shit. We know the shit that we done did. We know the stuff we done put out there in the air. And between 2, 3, 5. We got 5 daughters between the three of us. It's 5 daughters right here. So now I say that to say, what age you gonna let your daughter date? Like, what you gonna give your daughter about the game, goddamn, that you want her to know? Or is it a certain age? What you feel about your daughter dating, man, my nigga? Because at the end of the day, we are raising some little girls that have to be women, and that's gonna have to go through the shit that we used to do.
Right. And I took that with a grain of salt for the simple fact that I don't have a specific age. I'm not like, you got to be 30, you got to be married, you got to be this, because I know how it goes. And me doing what I did, I know some things are going to happen. She's going to go cry. All I could do is teach her the game. Now you can't date right now because one's 10 tomorrow. Actually, one's 10 tomorrow. And then one's 12 last month. So it ain't time yet, but when it happens, it happens. I'm not going to be that uptight nigga. I mean, it is what it is. I know it's got to happen.
Right. And I always said that, you know, once I had a daughter, because I knew that was in the cards for me, because I got to be honest.
Nigga, you had a son at 12. What you mean?
That nigga's son got Medicare on it.
Hell yeah. That nigga drank liquor.
I just
son registered for the Army 2 years ago.
And he voted last time.
Thank you.
Nigga voted for Obama. Your son voted for Obama.
Old ass son.
I always do. Nigga.
Seriously though, Red, I always knew that was in the cards for me because
at 8?
No. Someday I knew I was gonna have a daughter. You know what I'm saying? And I always said my way of doing it, as far as her dating, is going to be a situation to where I wanted it always to be an open door policy. You can come to me and talk to me about anything, because I've been the nigga on the other side of that phone that called you and hung up so you can call me back. That's so you know it's me.
That's a game. That's a hell of a game now.
Hey, listen, I played
blank
that.
text message.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my bad. I ain't mean
That's how you know it's me calling. That means I'm at home, right? So it's just like, she's 2 now. I got a little ways to go.
You got a lot of ways to go.
Y'all knocking at the door. But when it is
at
time,
least I get to get over with it faster.
Well, you can say what you want to say. You still gonna have that same goddamn thought process when it's time for a little boy to bring her what you call that shit? Corsage for her homecoming dance or her.
I'm an arm wrestler.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm really that nigga like 50 in them days. Come in the garage. I'm all you niggas
Come in the garage.
Come in the garage.
Hey niggas, take y'all shirts off. I don't give a shit what you
ready.
Hey, I'm telling you, stop. I swear to God, this was your last night, wasn't it, fool? I hit you.
Niggas in here with no shirts.
I was like, stop. Man, yo, do you understand, fool? You got 2 girls.
Yes,
I get it. Man,
girls, bro.
I've been prepared.
I think I've been honest, man. Like, I've intercepted. I'm a hawk on that phone now. Like, and I intercepted some shit the other day, and I was like, golly.
It's that time, huh?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? When you get to that grade level that she in now, like, they do start getting boy crazy, and they do start noticing that boys, look at them and all that shit. And I'm going to tell you, it's a very humbling experience.
That's why I have yet to take it.
Hey, look, I had to go downstairs in my office and debate. And on Beetlejuice, when they pulled out the handbook of the deceased, I pulled out the handbook of niggas. And I'm like, look, I'm finna get her, I don't care. You call me what you want. I'm finna get her all the game that I could possibly give her.
You got to. That's not
at the end of the day, though, I did say that I'm not gonna be the parent that be overly strict.
Right.
I'm not gonna be overly, like, hard on her and not let her make her own decisions.
Right.
I'm going to just tell her what I know and let her make her own decisions. No, seriously, because if you be that, going back to the story that we talked about.
Right.
Y'all remember when you first got to college? We all remember the strict parents.
Yeah, don't be that strict
when they got there.
Real wild.
Those were the first ones.
They was the wildest ones when we got to school.
And I'm glad you said that. I don't have kids yet, so every month is a venture at my house. But I got a little sister that's 15 years younger than me. And I really wanted her to like go through some type of heartbreak or something like in high school. When like niggas ain't as experienced, because niggas not as experienced yet.
Right.
Once you get to college, you kind of know how the shit work, what tricks to use. So I'd rather you go through your first heartbreak with like a high school nigga that's kind of just as dumb as you, then you wait to college and you experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I ain't gonna lie. By the time I got to college, I was a veteran.
That's what I'm saying.
Your mind is gonna change once you have a daughter.
Yeah.
Probably, but I mean, you got to think about how young, like
I told you,
like I was older than Ty was when he had his son when my little sister was born. Like I ain't even joking. I'm just being like honest. Yeah. So it's a possibility. So I look at her like that. I don't look at her like a little sister.
I don't know the full story. How old were you? Really?
When I had my son?
Yeah.
15 going on 16.
Okay.
But you're always, I hate when niggas say that. Like, what other age are you going on?
15 going on. He went on to 25.
Like, I had a birthday
so he did.
Summer, so.
He went to 25. From 15 to, you're not going to 16 once you have a baby. You
absolutely.
From 15 to 25.
And my mama was the type of parent to be like, hey, look, I wasn't there when you got that nut off and I didn't get that good feeling, so I'm not finna be the one to raise your child. That instantly work. Bam. Right in the workforce.
Y'all worked at that? I don't know how this come, but I worked at age 15 too.
You said that earlier. I
was at Chuck E. Cheese. I lied. They never checked.
I was at Hard.
They never checked.
I was supposed to be 16. I was 15, worked at Chuck E. Cheese, gave them my birth certificate. I just said I'm 16. They took it, but I was 15. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I didn't care.
Well, I say all that to say that, like, there's no age limit when I want my daughter to date. I will say ideally 8th grade, I will let her have friends, and texts and stuff like that. Yeah. But the only thing I can do is educate her on, what's out there.
Yeah.
The trip falls,
teach them the game.
Falls, give them what I can, educate her, and hope that she make the best decision. That's all we really can do, because
I'm
policing them and trying to bully them into stuff, I feel like that shit just don't work.
I'm glad you said that, for the simple fact that I have yet to have that talk. So I think you saying that, I feel like I need to have that talk.
If you haven't, it's time. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, the first person that told me to have this talk, it was this summer, when I was going to get her shots. Her doctor, man. Shouts out to her doctor, man. She got a cool doctor. And the doctor was recommended from a friend. Her doctor, is young, black lady, been in the game for a minute, but she's young. She maybe, a few years older than us, maybe. But she was like, I'm going to ask you something. Have you had the talk yet? I was like, what talk? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm in that bitch like, what talk is you talking about? She was like, the real talk. I was like, the real talk? Shit, what you mean? We talk about food and nutrition. We be really talking. Schoolwork, that's real talk. Nah, she was like, have you had to talk about sex? I was like, sex? She in middle school. What the fuck you talking? She was like, I'm telling you right now, the grade that she going into, have the talk, because this grade is the grade that she's like, all of my clients, all of my patients, this is where they get really curious.
Right.
You better have this talk.
Quick question.
I'm telling you. And so we started having to have the talk, and I had to talk with
Quick question. What age were y'all when y'all started? If y'all want to talk about that.
Let me go first, because I was going to say it anyway. So, 3rd grade. Let me tell you.
Nigga.
It was around when Magic Johnson just...
You 7?
Wait.
Hang on. No.
How old were you? How old were you in 3rd grade?
I don't remember, but I remember I was in the 3rd grade. Came
Are
home.
you talking about the talk?
Yes.
No. I'm talking about the act.
Yeah, the actual act.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what that nigga said, 3rd grade.
No. But
he talking about talk.
No. But let me talk about the talk, though, because that still is early as fuck. 3rd grade, the Magic Johnson
Don't let me forget, too.
Had just dropped. My mama set me down, told me about AIDS, about sex, about condoms. I'm in the 3rd grade. I'm scared as a motherfucker. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm going to die. Bitch, if you don't get the fuck away from me when I went back to school, get your little bit ass away from me. But because she was just so scared. You know, everybody at that time was just so scared about it. So she was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And then, shit, I remembered it later, but...
The weird thing for me is I never had that talk. I ain't never had that talk.
You from New Orleans, man.
Y'all do.
I ain't never had that talk. But that shit matters. Like,
Hey,
man,
man, you go out there and figure it out, you heard me?
I think parents are real easy. Just
Hey.
go out there.
Mom
figure it
did let a nigga fly. Go
Hey,
fly.
Nah, my mama, I think it was 7th grade. It was 8th grade. And she was like, I was born in Mobile. I lived in Mobile. You know what I'm saying, for a good part of my year, and then I moved to Wisconsin. And when I came back from Wisconsin, we moved back from Wisconsin to Alabama. And my mom was like, look, I'm going to tell you, the girls here are different. They faster, they develop quicker.
And they
these
black.
is condoms. Although I started like, you know what I'm saying, she like, these is condoms, this is what you do with it. Your ass better wear them, don't come over here with no babies. That was the talk, and that was the gist of it. So,
No baby.
yeah, so shouts out to mom. I ducked it, I guess as best I can, but... I just say that to say, man, we raising daughters, and so in all seriousness, we do want to make sure that we educate them, make sure they know what they need to know, and hopefully they make the best decisions that they can make based on the game that we give them. So that is what it is. Diving into political news, man,
Somewhat.
it's political, it's entertainment, it crosses a whole lot of lines, but. We seen my man Kanye, not my man.
Kanye.
We seen Kanye West met with President 45 at the White House. And for those who haven't seen it, go YouTube it, go look at it. For those who have already oversaturated with it, then you feel like I feel. It's just really sickening to watch. Kanye was in the Oval Office. Kanye told... a lot of 45, and I don't even want to paraphrase. That's why I say you go watch it and you go get your own opinion and find out how you feel about it. I know how I feel about it. And we just saw Kanye, man, in the White House, man, and I don't know how to take it. I hear a lot of different variations of what to make of Kanye. Is Kanye having a mental breakdown? Is Kanye a disorder? Are we laughing at somebody who doing this? Are we talking bad about somebody who's having a mental illness? I feel like if he is having a mental illness or not, I don't know. But some of the stuff that we see, like, we excuse it maybe for being a mental condition.
I don't.
But with Kanye, is he using that to kind of say, oh, I can get away with this because I am sick. I am this. I think personally, man, nothing wrong with Kanye. I think that Kanye I do think he's a creative, and sometimes creative minds get born. I do think that Kanye thinks that he's gonna somehow change the way that we think. But I think Kanye is completely out of touch with what the fuck is going on in the world. And I'm sick of that shit. I'm sick of seeing it. I'm sick of the attention that he receives for doing that stupid shit. Did anybody have a chance to see that dumbass interview that he did? What are your thoughts?
I did, and I think because of everything you just said, that he is mentally ill. Because for the simple fact that he thinks he can change niggas like you and me way of thinking to think like that, yes, he's fucking mentally ill.
Right.
So I think, and I don't know if it's antics or what it is, I honestly think he is bipolar. He's been clinically, whatever the term is, they say he's bipolar.
Well, even in that interview, he said that they labeled him as bipolar, but it was a misdiagnosis.
To himself.
No. He said that they told him that somebody else, second opinion, said that it was a misdiagnosis.
After looking at everything, this man, I looked at 2 minutes. Again, that's my limit with Kanye. And all 2 minutes, none of them were coherent. You can't tell me that's the same person talking. I don't believe it. I don't believe, and even if that is antics, those antics aren't making any sense at all.
So, I watched the video.
How long was it? I don't remember. I didn't.
If you look at the total, what I saw, like, because one I saw like was 10 minutes. And one, the longest version that I saw was like 19 to 20 minutes.
Did Jim Brown say a word in that shit?
I don't know, man. At the end of the day, it was a whole bunch of foolery. And that's really like Can't Get Right said, I needed to introduce the store so people knew what we was talking about. But at the end of the day, I'm sick of Kanye. Fuck Kanye. And that's how I feel about it.
But one thing I will say, I'm ready for this Kanye versus the Lion thing that I said last podcast. I'm just ready for him just to go away any type of way possible.
I hope he stays around and just produce.
For what?
Produce. That's it.
What?
Produce what? What do you want to hear from? What do you want?
What have you heard that you want to hear more from?
I don't mind a Kanye beat.
I don't want to hear none of that.
What's the last good Kanye beat?
I think that there's plenty of other people making beats that I could want to hear from. Like, what is he gave us?
I don't want to hear him talk. That's it.
Nigga, give me Mustard. Give me Metro Boomin.
Right. And I'm glad you said that because at this point, you say you want to hear him produce. What have you heard from Kanye lately that he's produced that you just feel like you can't go without?
I've liked Pusha T's album. I liked it. I liked Tiana's album.
So nobody else could have produced that?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
Nobody else produced it.
You like Lil Baby.
No.
You like all these other different albums that wasn't produced by Kanye.
You asked me what did I like from Kanye. I told you. I don't know if that's the question is not. Can somebody else do it? Yes, of course. Maybe. I don't know.
All the antics that he did,
I can say no.
You're okay with it as long as he can keep producing you good.
No, I don't want his antics. I want him to like you said. What do you want from Kanye?
Man.
I want him to shut the fuck up and produce.
He's way more destructive than music at this point.
I don't even want to like. If
that's
I'm
not
artist,
even an excuse at this point.
If I'm an artist,
who is excusing it?
No. I'm not saying you're excusing it.
You making it sound like I'm excusing it.
No. But I was on that. Like I just want to hear the music. I didn't even want to talk about this.
You wasn't on
that. Was very decisive. Like I just couldn't let that one slide. Like damn music.
Right.
This is about people's lives,
man. And you making it.
No.
You putting people in some crazy positions.
No.
And I say that to say like
don't misconstrue my point. Though.
In order for him to produce, somebody has to consume. So if he's producing, somebody's supporting what he's doing.
Anything he produces, I'm not gonna listen to.
I'm done with that shit. Like I won't. Like if I'm an artist, and I can't speak for everybody else. You got to do it. He's a genius. All that bullshit that people try to say. I'm not buying shit from him if I'm an artist. I don't want my label buying nothing from him if I'm an artist. Nah, man, it's time for him to go away.
I feel like it's time to go away with his words.
All of it.
As a collective, I'm with Stock. I don't want to hear, see, speak on nothing Kanye, man. Like, I'm like, wits end has been surpassed with this nigga, man. Like, real shit.
I got it.
For real.
Wits end, God.
But this dude is fuck Kanye. Simply put,
all right,
no energy in it.
I feel
with all due respect.
Y'all don't think he's mentally ill? Like, honestly?
No. I don't care. I showed you a mentally ill person.
He said that he was misdiagnosed.
Okay.
He said that he wasn't.
That's what everybody who bipolar says.
I don't care. So I can only go off what he said. He's misdiagnosed, which means I'm going to treat him like, hey, guys, I don't want to hear that shit.
That shit is not, you can say what you want to say.
I don't think you can say that.
I showed you a picture or a video of somebody that suffers from bipolar. That man is not doing the same thing that this person is doing, bro.
What you showed me?
But you know what?
The video, the video that I showed you a while back. I showed you.
Oh yeah.
So no, that's not what Kanye is doing.
But you know what?
I'm glad you said that.
I think he
get in that office.
I think he is
in front of that man. Speak just like me and you are speaking, and he ain't coming with outbursts or. Well,
it was outbursts.
It ain't nobody standing over there.
He was outbursting, Todd. He was. All of that, he ran it for 10 minutes with nobody saying nothing to him. That's an outburst.
I didn't see that because I didn't watch it. Because you know why?
10 minutes and nobody.
With Kanye
if you talk for 10 minutes with nobody saying anything to you, that's crazy.
Hey, I think we're doing a great disservice of people that really suffer from bipolar disease by saying Kanye is bipolar. Because you know why? He never switches. When has he recently switched back to the other side? Because that's what bipolar is.
Right.
I agree.
You're positive, you're negative.
Right.
When has he ever switched back to the other side
Has he?
recently?
Yeah.
Did
He stayed on one consistent movement.
I don't think
that's
so.
not bipolar.
I think he did get to a point to he was like, well, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't do it. He did do that. You do remember that, right?
When he went to Chicago?
He may be going through.
I don't care where he went. Did he do it?
No.
Apologizing and sticking to the issues is two totally different things.
He never apologized for nothing he said.
When has he said anything positive?
My only thing is this.
I'm going to go to Chicago. I'm going to create schools. I'm going to create jobs. I'm going to do his best. I'm never leaving Chicago.
My only thing is this, and I want to be really clear when I say this.
Positive.
We have not heard directly, at least I have not, that he is bipolar or that he is suffering from some type of mental illness.
He went to a ward for months.
If he is, I'm talking about me. If he is, then I'll say something different at a later point. But what I'm judging him off of is his behavior and his antics now, and this is as somebody who I've perceived to be in his right mind or doing things. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of hearing it. I don't want to hear it again.
Right.
And I will say that I have heard that he was in the mental ward for some days.
That's great.
A true bipolar person, if they set up a meeting with Trump, by the time they get there, they could be talking about something totally different.
Which
Not even want to speak with
That's what
them.
he did. What was his purpose for going there, though?
To do that.
No, it wasn't.
What was his purpose?
It was for like prison reform and things. That
We heard nothing of prison reform.
You didn't.
What happened when all the pastors went up there for that same reason?
Bro, y'all, you going up.
Trump is giving people nothing and
Come on.
taking everything.
Don't try to twist the story. Don't try to move the goalpost. That's not we're not talking about the pastors. We're talking about, you said that if a bipolar person, what they do is if they set up a meeting with Trump, by the time they get to Trump, they're going to change what they think. And that's exactly what Kanye West did, nigga. Don't try to move the goalposts on me. Because like I just told you, his whole purpose for going there was to talk about prison reform.
And we heard nothing of it.
Exactly. So a bipolar person changes what they're thinking about once they get there, which he did.
Have you heard?
Who said he was going up there to talk about prison
He
reform?
did.
Well, see,
I'm not making this up, guys. I read this.
Okay.
Him talking to people.
But who
said this?
Here's the thing. We get on the topic here.
And I'm not defended by Kanye West by any matters.
No,
I get it twisted.
I get what you're saying. But we get on this podcast and we have a certain topic that we discuss, but we go off subject. None of us are bipolar, are we?
That ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about right now, though. No, yes, I'm with you on that.
Oh, like
That's okay, though.
Kanye.
It's not about that. It's just about, for me, it's about if he's bipolar or not. For me, it's about a mental.
I don't think he is.
For me, it's about a mental illness. And I think
I don't know.
I think we just
I can only judge him off of being sane, man.
I think we just
He's been pretty consistent to me to be a bipolar person.
He's been consistently bipolar.
I've never seen anybody diagnosed with bipolarism or whatever you want to call it, and they release that early. Because if you've been checked into a mental hospital for whatever condition that you have,
when you got money, it's different, my nigga. I'm sorry, it is.
I'm sorry, but if that's a mind thing, you can't go in there and say, okay, I'm well in 2 weeks or a month. You can't do that. If your mind messed up, your mind is messed up, man. I don't care what kind of money you got.
I've never heard somebody that really was bipolar say they was bipolar.
Exactly.
How you got enough sense to say you're bipolar?
That's my point.
If you're bipolar.
Kanye West said, I'm not bipolar. They misdiagnosed.
Nah, he said.
So you're making my
first
point.
he said that.
You're making my point.
He started saying
Thank you, guy.
No, he said.
Thank you, guy. Thank you, guy.
The interview with Charlamagne, yeah, I'm off my meds right now. They diagnosed me with.
He's on meds.
I'm bipolar. Nah, man, I ain't with that. What's the next topic?
Because not being on.
Because I'm through with him.
Because
Shout
not
out
being
to
on
Trouble
it makes
Man,
it
because
different.
Trouble Man said that, he's feeling a lot like us. He's saying that he's been extremely patient. He made a point not to jump into it prematurely, not to get any conclusions about Ye and his antics. Partially due to lessons learned of previous stores. We see in the news a lot that these stores, take twists, loops, and turns. T.I. made a long post on Instagram. For those who haven't seen it, go to Troubleman31. And T.I. let a whole rant out about how he felt about what it was Ye was doing. Now, this is coming from a person unlike us who has actually spent time with him, has been able to pick his brain, talk to him about different stuff, and he had a difference of opinion. It didn't sound like he was talking about bipolarism or whatever it was that he was speaking, and it felt like a lot of people felt the way that Trouble Man was saying. Has anybody had a chance to look at it, what it was that T.I. was saying?
Basically, he's saying the same thing we said here. Fuck that. I'm done with it. I'm sick of talking about it. You pretty much, using your people. You know what I'm saying? It's a spit in the face. So basically, everything we just said, I think Tip covered.
Do you? I have a question. Do y'all think Tip contributed to this, Kanye?
No. And I'll tell you why. Tip was riding with Kanye right before this Trump interview. He was saying, hey, what he's saying might not make sense because he doesn't have time. He's not a short form person. If you give him enough time to get his point out, then you'll kind of understand the stuff that he's saying. But after this Trump interview, even Tip said, nah, bruh. Me and you ain't on the same level. I'm done with you.
Do you think that's the sign of T.I. describing two different people?
No, I think it's a sign. I think it's a sign of Tip seeing a progressively worse person, and he went over the line.
Which means that's a different person, right?
No, progressively worse.
Means you're different.
If I punch you one time, and then the next time I see you, I punch you 2 times, I'm not a different person. I'm just progressively worse.
Which means you're not as bad as you were before.
Okay, but I didn't never say, I didn't never let you, hey man, hit me.
Or maybe
that's bipolar.
You might just be the same.
I don't know what you're saying right now, but
basically what Tip said was, man, look,
you might just be the same.
Man said before, man, we sat down, we talked, and I kind of understood your views or where you were trying to come from the first time. But this particular time, I'm not even trying to understand it. I'm moving forward, and
gotcha.
Because we keep forgetting that like it's more people than just this man standing in here.
Right.
These people are privileged. Oh, yeah. These people don't have to deal with the repercussions of what it is he's saying. And we just turned around and saw that he used this same interview to turn around and say that this whole group of people, meaning you, me, everybody in here, that they're with me at a rally at the same time that he quoted quotes from Robert E. Lee by saying that the blacks are with me. I'm going to get all the black votes because of some antics from somebody who we say is bipolar or not bipolar. By him saying, oh, I love you, I love this hat, it gives me superpower and all that. He's using that to say that these people are with me. I think that shit is dangerous for more common people. And we're talking about people who are privileged, who don't have to deal with the consequences of what the fuck they're saying. They can say that shit and go to Calabasas and go to the hills and go to the places where we have to come back and deal with regular, normal, day-to-day shit.
Right.
That's how I look at it. And I don't think that shit helps us.
And I asked that question because I think that he was the same idiot that he was before. I think he was the same idiot then that he is now.
Because mental illness, like, I'm not giving you an excuse for that. You're a black man in America. And at one point, you was a regular black man in Chicago, poor in America. And that's just uncalled for you to be acting the way that you're acting.
I don't see it.
No, it's no excuse for it.
Why are you saying that at me like you disagree with what I just said?
Because I do.
I just said because
it's not a mistake. Yes, I do.
So you don't think he's the same idiot now that he was back then when he said all of that stupid stuff?
What you mean?
I just said I asked that question because I think you're not listening to me. You just want to fuss with me. I just said that I asked that question because I think Kanye West is the same idiot that he was when the last time he was with Tip. Compared to now today, he's the same fucking idiot. That was my point.
I think when he was with Tip,
I think he was the same idiot then that he is now.
No, I think at that time he was saying some crazy stuff, but it had a different meaning. And he was misunderstood.
He was wearing a MAGA hat.
Or we took it that he was misunderstood. Now, I think he's, at this point, is showing his true feelings. He done went all the way Kanye.
So did you take him as misunderstood or you're like he was tripping?
I always thought he was tripping.
Exactly my point. I'm making me personally too. I thought he was tripping then. I think he's tripping now. That's why
I don't think people listen to what you've been saying would think that you believe that.
Okay. I said a number of times I'm not arguing for Kanye. I was talking about if he's really bipolar. That's all I was saying.
Well,
what if he's really bipolar? That's all.
But listen, think about what we just watched on TV with LeBron and Drake. Drake said this man called him. They pretty much had a heart-to-heart. He opened up to the man. and he turn around and do some evil shit, like give it
Set
away.
up a whole plan.
He set it up.
That's not
premeditated,
bipolar.
That nigga crazy.
That
That's
ain't-
pretty.
that
That's,
ain't bi- that
to
ain't
me, that's
bipolar.
fucking crazy, my nigga. To imagine a nigga, one of my friends would do that is fucking crazy.
Not necessarily
Okay.
crazy. I
But
just
that's
think
not
that shows
bipolar,
that you
though.
I don't know
Right.
what that
That's
is.
not
You're
bipolar,
cognitive. You know what I mean? You can
Ari,
set
that's
up
premeditated.
You set it up perfectly
I don't know.
and executed that shit. All while working on 7 different albums.
Okay.
All while setting release dates. All while making sure that everybody got albums and got the beats and things that they needed.
Using the beat that was supposed to be for him. No, man, that's not bipolar.
I don't know that we can say whether it is or isn't bipolar. I don't think it qualifies.
And I'm glad that you said
I
that
don't.
because until a doctor or somebody actually comes out
That's
and
what
said,
that's what I'm saying, guys.
I said that a long time ago. But if you're saying the same thing, you're saying, okay, fine, you're saying that, but then you're leaning on the side that he is.
I can make it this. I can choose what I think and still be rational.
Okay, but what I'm saying is nobody has said that he is a doctor. Nobody has come out, a medical professional, not you, not TMZ, not anybody has come out and said that he is. So now I'm judging him off of his antics as a person that's normal because nobody has told me that he isn't. That's the only thing I've been saying this whole time, which is why I am judging him off of his actions, which is why I said earlier that if it comes out that it's something different, then I'll adjust accordingly. But right now, I'm judging him off of his antics now, and nobody has told me that this is his condition.
And I'm judging him off his antics of him going to a mental hospital, him being on meds, him having a doctor tell him he's bipolar.
He said that he was misdiagnosed, Hootie.
We just said that's what all bipolar people say.
a misdiagnosis. We said about getting a second opinion. He went to got a second opinion. Somebody told him that's not what it is. So again, until somebody comes out and says this is absolutely what it is, I can only judge him off of his behavior. And man, we spend way too much time on Kanye, man. We saw that T.I. released a video snippet of him in the Oval Office with, I guess, what's perceived to be Melania Trump. I don't know if T.I. said who that's supposed to be. I'm saying it was perceived that's who it's supposed to be. I don't know who it's supposed to be. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that.
Same jacket she wore, same
wording.
bill, in the Oval Office.
Same hair
I rocks with Tip.
As
His
Trump's
last
leader.
album wasn't that great, but I rocks with Tip. For that.
I like this laugh out. You do a hell of a job of picking somebody up and bringing them down simultaneously.
You can, well, I'm bipolar.
I would believe
bipolar.
Your name is.
Hey, you can blame it on that.
I blame it on that.
Your name is can't get right.
Right. So
goddamn.
so
shit.
they give me even more reason to be bipolar.
Hey, just keep
Not
blaming it on that
far-fetched.
concussion every
Don't
time.
blame me. Yeah. Before the concussion, after the concussion. Don't blame me for anything before.
I feel you. But yeah, Tip released that video. For those who haven't had a chance to see it, you can go on Instagram. It's on, I believe it's on T.I. page.
Yeah, it's on his page.
Yeah, it's on his page. That's why I got it
Trouble
from.
Man 31. Go check it out. See what your thoughts is.
Might be
in
some
regard-
trouble, man.
in regards to that. In the sports world, we saw my man Drew Brees.
Who that?
Drew Brees, man. Shouts out to Drew Brees, man. Drew Brees makes history. He basically became the NFL's leading passer in all-time history. Just recently on that Monday night game where we talked about Lil Wayne, we saw that Drew Brees was able to surpass Peyton Manning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, as the NFL's all-time leading passer. I've said it here before. We have had the luxury of seeing some of the most premier quarterbacks to ever play the game in our lifetime.
Right.
You know, in the time that we've been able to follow football. And my man Drew Brees was able to eclipse the passing record, a record that, you know, when Peyton Manning broke it, we thought that like, whoa, this is big.
Yeah.
And Drew Brees came and surpassed it. And this is a man who's not looking like he's slowing down. He may even have the ability to keep adding to it. He still has, over half the season left to keep adding to those totals. So
In a couple more years.
Did y'all get a chance to see it? And if you did, who do you think is taking over Brees as your favorite quarterback? Is Brees your favorite quarterback? Would you put him as the all-time great? If not, you know, dive in it. Tell me, what you thought about his performance, as well as if somebody's better, who is it?
Well, when I looked at it, I just want to ask. Imagine if Troy Aikman, Dan Marino, Brett Favre, Steve Young, Joe Montana was able to throw 50 times a game and not be touched by the defense. The kind of numbers that they will put up. So I say that to say, I think those records are indication of A, the system, and B, the times. And what do y'all think about that?
I don't think it's the system. I think he's a prolific passer. He was now he wasn't always with Sean Payton. Right, he started in San Diego.
He started in
career
Purdue.
looked like it was done.
Correction. He started in Purdue.
Well,
he put a prolific
college. I'm talking about. I meant like NFL. Right. He came in for Doug Flutie, who was injured and never came off the field again.
That was it.
So
he got hurt.
Yeah, right. So I really don't want to put that system stuff out there in the air because, dude, I mean, if you watch it, that man is surgical with that thing, man.
Bro, a beautiful ball.
Was he
very accurate.
Was he looking like he was going to break that record in San Diego?
He looked like that's why Hootie said in Purdue.
Right.
If for people who didn't follow him before, he was a prolific passer coming out of college.
Right.
A lot of people underrated him. I saw what's my man?
Where he played at? Where he was at? Think about it.
The Ravens, but he has a brother.
Tyrod.
Now, whoever it was with the Ravens, the quarterback who just barely won. You know,
that won the Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer.
It might not have been Dilfer. It was the other man. He was a career backup on ESPN. Hasselbeck.
Yeah.
Thank you, Todd. Hasselbeck was saying how they was in the same combine and how he said that he looked at him and was like, this the guy that y'all talking about was breaking all the records. This was at the combine coming out of college. This is not a great quarterback. He's all right, but he wasn't wowed by him.
Right.
And he said now, as he developed and the passer he became, he wows me. So I say that to say that he was a wow factor coming out of Purdue. He came to San Diego. He was able to come in for Doug Flutie, but he had a horrific arm injury. It was looking like he may not even play the game again.
Right.
San Diego gave up on him, sent him to New Orleans around the same time Katrina was happening, a little bit before Katrina, but he was responsible for resurrecting that franchise.
Right.
Bringing winning back to New Orleans, or maybe not even bringing it back, making winning a thing there in New Orleans, and put up numbers, him and Sean Payton.
Right.
So I understand what you're saying about the times. I will say the times have a part to play in it, but times are always evolve. It's probably people before the 3-point line would say, man, I could have dealt with Step did if they was counting it.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe they could, maybe they couldn't. We can only judge people about the times that they live in.
Right.
And to me, Drew Brees has been a phenomenal quarterback.
Yes.
I don't necessarily have him in my top 5 simply because I think passing talent. Well, no, I'm not going to say I don't have him in top 5. I'm sorry. I don't have him as my number 1, of course. But I think that there was a lot of, some other quarterbacks that may be as of deserving or better than him. But I got to give him credit where credit due. He's surgical with that thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll answer the question first. I'll go Brady, Peyton, and then Aaron Rodgers. Drew Brees falls somewhere after that.
Right.
But who's your favorite quarterback of all time?
I just told you.
No, who's your favorite quarterback?
I liked the Miami Dolphins. I was 9, 10 years old. I stopped liking the Saints, started liking the Dolphins because of Dan Marino. At the time, Dan Marino was my favorite quarterback.
So is
I went with the Dolphins.
Better than Dan Marino?
Talent-wise, no. But as far as
a quarterback,
I'll take him over.
You'll take Drew Brees
because the only factor I have that's a difference is Drew Brees has better numbers, and Dan Marino threw the fuck out that bitch 50 times, and he won a Super Bowl. Yeah, Dan Marino got them to a Super Bowl, but he didn't win it. Drew Brees did. And it's looking like he may go that way again.
But see, here's the thing. This is the question that I asked. Like, when we rank these guys as who is the GOAT or what have you at their position, are we taking Super Bowls into account?
I take it all into account.
Or are we just going off the numbers?
It's deeper than that for me, because playing quarterback, I understand it takes more than just numbers.
Right.
I've seen Hawaii quarterbacks get more numbers than anybody in the world. Doesn't mean that they're better than fucking Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not all about I take it all into effect. Your numbers, your winning, your accuracy, your arm strength, your Super Bowls.
Right.
If you've always been a winner, that's why I'm going Tom Brady. This man has he's won rings more than anybody else. He's looked the coolest more than anybody else. His numbers aren't too shabby. That's because he's always had subpar talent around him offensively, minus maybe 2 to 3 years with Gronk and Moss. Other than that, they've been subpar. But I'm picking Brady. And also, but fuck that. It's about Breeze. Breeze, shout out to Breeze. I've been watching Breeze. I've been watching Breeze since Purdue. This man is amazing. Yeah. Being a 5'10" quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen?
Do you know how hard that shit is?
Yeah, you can see over the line.
Sometimes my man on his tippy toes to throw a screen.
That man smaller. He's smaller than the refs.
Right.
So and for those, I know it's a lot of people who follow us. Sorry, not to cut you off. I'm gonna come back to you. Who don't maybe understand the height. What the height got to do with it? He's 5'10", but
everybody in front of you.
Offensive linemen who help protect the quarterback. A lot of those boys are 6'4",
6'6",
6'6". The D linemen who are coming attacking the quarterback are 6'6".
And your job is to get the ball over them.
You're right. And those boys, not only are they 6'6", but they have big wingspans when they put their hands.
7 feet.
You have to get the ball over those.
Right.
And so that's why height plays a part in that. And I didn't mean to cut you off. I'll come back to you.
And with that, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to directly ask you because of your quarterback experience.
Mm-hmm.
So if Drew Brees goes to Miami, which he was supposed to do, and he has an okay career, and Nick Saban stays, do you think he still breaks that record?
Eventually, yes, for the simple fact that
at this point,
he basically did that. He went to San Diego.
Right.
So, yes.
No, after San Diego, he was supposed to go to Miami.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He knew what he was doing.
No, but I'm asking you a question.
I don't know. We don't know what could have happened in Miami. If Sean Payton goes to Miami next year, yes. If Nick Saban stays there and beats the Nick Saban that we know him to be, yes.
I'm asking you for your opinion. We don't know.
I don't
know. If
Nick
Saban stays with his offense.
Yes. Nick Saban's offense is evolutionary. It continues to grow.
Okay, at that time, what Nick Saban offense was?
It's not going to be that, man. You can't do that. No, you can't. Nobody plays the same offense that they played in 2000. Not one team.
But they would have played that same offense for a lot of years up until now.
Okay, he played it. You basically can say he played it for 5 in San Diego. It was a boring offense.
But Nick Saban offense would have been boring.
Stop asking me the same question. Can't get right. Damn it, man. I answered you, man. Yes, I think he would have broke it because he went to San Diego in a boring offense that featured LaDainian Tomlinson, and he was amazing. So, yes, man, stop asking me that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to come up with hypotheticals.
Yeah, I know
we can change shit and we can make it, but shouts out to Drew Brees.
Who that's?
Right. For basically accomplishing it. It's not an easy feat. I don't give a shit where you came from. It's definitely hard. In the NFL news, we saw that Odell Beckham was recently given an interview. For people who haven't really necessarily seen that interview, it was an interview that a lot of people thought was a little bit different because Odell Beckham was given an opportunity to kind of express his feelings in regards to a lot of stuff. It was an interview that was done with him, Lil Wayne. And shouts out to the woman.
Josina Anderson.
Josina, yeah. Wayne shouted out.
Right. Yeah. Shouts out to her because she was able to get some questions out of him that maybe, wouldn't have gotten answered by other people. But we saw Odell Beckham had a lot to say necessarily about the situation that he's in. We know that the talent that Odell Beckham possesses, the skill set that he has. I think he's one of the most prolific receivers in the NFL. But he says kind of similar to what I think, that he's not always able to show his talent. What do you guys think about what Odell Beckham had to say in this particular interview?
Well, I mean, there's no lie being told there. I mean, he's not able to showcase his abilities to the fullest of their ability because I watched the Giants Thursday night. Eli looked bad.
I'm with you, Ty, but I don't think that's his place to say in that area.
That's two different things.
Yeah,
that's two different things.
There's no lies. So it is no lies, but I don't think he should.
And I'm okay. Well, let me rephrase it. I'm not gonna put it all on Eli because he was running for his life.
It's not just about Eli.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. He's not lying.
But it's not about that for me. For me, it's Beckham should never say anything of that nature in the media.
I agree.
That has to be behind closed. Like, if you're going to go tell Eli that.
I agree. I'm not
It's
disputing
really hard to
that.
throw your quarterback up under the bus and then come back and have to play with him.
Yes, because
But did he say did he say his name? And
He shouldn't be talking about that way.
well, I mean, you're talking about the quarterback and that's the quarterback.
Teammates as
If
a whole. Quarterback. You my starting quarterback. And I say, man, I just don't think I'm able to get the ball like I need to. The ball's not getting to me. It's not doing it. Who the hell delivering the ball to me?
Okay. Yeah, okay. What's the difference in the coach coming out saying the exact same shit Beckham said versus Odell saying it? He said the same thing a coach would say. I remember just last year, what the coach named Tom Coughlin, he called their ass out all the time.
Coughlin, man.
Who he called out? And he,
The whole Giants.
For 2 years.
Organization.
But no,
He would always criticize his players.
A coach is going to say, we need to do a better job at getting the ball to our playmakers.
Yeah,
Right.
he's not going to say my quarterback or you need to.
He's not going to pinpoint.
We need to get better as a whole.
Yes.
Odell say,
That's what he should say.
my quarterback not giving me the ball. Odell didn't say that.
Now,
He said they're not making him, they're not using him so he can be great.
He's blaming it on somebody else. He
Now,
should never
get
do
it.
that.
now Hootie,
I'm not arguing it.
correct me if I'm wrong, but you played 1 year with the best wide receiver in UAB history,
I think
correct?
it was 2. Red shirt year in my freshman year.
Okay.
I red shirted my first year. Technically, the year after that is my freshman year. Red shirt freshman.
So how many times, like, he thought he deserved the ball every play?
He did, but Roddy would never say that.
Right.
He would never
So,
say
like,
that.
who, I mean.
That's what Odell needs to do, man.
Yeah.
Roddy was in practice, he made, hey, man, your little fat ass need to give me the ball. But
Right.
in the game, he'll never say that. In the media, he'll never.
He'll never say that because that's not what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Even though if you're that great, yes,
And
it's something that's somebody that's great that yes, you should feel that way, but you don't say that in the media.
Yeah,
Right.
You just don't do it.
I'm not going against that. I ain't saying not one time was that nigga right.
Mhm.
I'm saying, where is he lying? Has the Giants been
it may not be. So we agree. Okay, there's no point where
He's
he's
not
lying.
lying.
All we're just simply saying is you can't say that. That's the end of the story.
Okay.
Like, he's not lying. Okay, we agree. He's not getting the ball. He's not being able to do the things. You just simply can't say that.
That's all we're saying.
it.
Can he or can he not say that?
That's all. That's it.
Okay.
So Odell is a great player, man, but you can't do that because at the end of the day, you have to be a professional, man. The media is really good at trying to get you to say bad stuff. Like, it's plenty of times they came to me and asked me questions like, well, did Coach Brown do enough to make you guys win?
Yes.
I know what that is. I mean,
Yes, we
as a
gotta
team,
win.
we have to just play better.
Right.
We have to play as a whole. I didn't put it on offense or defense.
Right.
Well, yeah, but do you think your coaches gave you the advantage? Same thing.
thing,
You
right.
have to figure out, you know what I'm saying? Don't fall for the trap. Now you fell for the trap, you create divisions,
Right.
and that is never conducive for winning. I've never seen
Hell no.
disgruntled people win. Win a game like where they're feuding with the quarterback or they're feuding with the administration. They're not gonna win like that.
Right,
so
right.
at the end of the day, you just gotta kind of keep it to yourself.
Pretty good.
Odell, you're great, but keep
Shut
the
up.
shit to yourself, man.
Shut up and work. That's what his response should have been. I need to get better. Simple as that.
Right.
In
I need
college-
to get better.
In college football, we see our top 25 weekly picks. We got Clemson versus North Carolina State. We got Washington versus number 19 Colorado, as well as LSU versus Mississippi State. We saw that LSU had a big win today. Shouts out to the Tigers. Washington.
Shots out, nigga.
Washington just lost a big game to Oregon. And Clemson versus NC State. Who y'all got? Where y'all going with that?
To start it off, I only picked 3 games. I'll put 3 games on here, and I'm glad I didn't have an option really. But it's not just those easy games, the 1 against 25s or the 2 against 24s. It's something I think that's actually going to make you think. And I'm going to go with the upset in the first game. I like NC State. And I think that Clemson is in turmoil right now. So I'm going NC State over Clemson. Washington is no longer going to be number 7 because they lost today in overtime. And Colorado has been playing lights out. Fuck that. I'm going with the double upset. Colorado. So I got Colorado against Washington, NC State over Clemson, LSU, Mississippi State. Yes, I'm a LSU fan, but we're just not watching that LSU just smack Georgia like we should have did Florida. But we just smacked Georgia, so I'm going LSU over Mississippi State. Hopefully, we don't let happen to us this week what happened last week. Last week, I think we were looking ahead. Hopefully, next week, we're not looking behind us like, hey, we just beat Georgia, we could beat anybody. So come ready to play because Mississippi State tough. So I'm going LSU, Colorado, NC State.
And I'm going to go, I think Clemson, like, I agree with what you're saying, but I think talent just going to outweigh playing North Carolina State. So I'm going to go Clemson. Still going to go Washington with that. But I think for the same reason that you said that they lost last week, I'm picking Mississippi State because I think the only thing they see on the schedule next is Alabama. And that's what their main focus is going to be. And it's hard for a college athlete or a young kid to not think, like arguably this is one of the best college teams we've ever seen.
True.
To not look forward.
True, but only when you haven't went through it yet. We just went through it last week. So that's true.
No,
up until
not
the point
playing against arguably one of the best college teams ever.
No, I'm saying what you said you think that they're going to look ahead basically to Bama.
Yeah.
I'm saying that only occurs if you haven't been through that before.
Okay.
Like meaning they looked over Florida to get to Georgia, so I don't think they'll do it again.
You ever made a mistake twice?
Rarely, but yeah.
I think they will.
Shout out to Joe, man. Gave us some color commentary this week, man.
Because usually I just be like, yeah.
Right. Everybody else do it. You said I pick Alabama, Auburn, and Washington.
Yeah.
What you got, nigga? You talking about him?
Oh,
Oh, you know that nigga
Know
finna
me,
pull
baby.
up a whole goddamn.
game one,
That
Clemson.
nigga got a whole cheat sheet over that bitch, don't it?
Game
Analytics.
number one that I'm going with is Clemson
John
over.
Clayton looking at him.
Got the ears to match. Goddamn.
I heard an upset.
I bet you did.
Last week.
Man. But no, Clemson, NC State, I'm gonna go Clemson. They was on the bye week this week. Them boys almost got hit in the mouth by Syracuse, so I think they're gonna bounce back and beat the dog skin off the NC State ad this week. So Clemson is my first pick. My second pick, I'm going against Washington again because I picked them to lose today, and they
That
did.
nigga been predicting them for the last 5 weeks, and them boys ain't lost it. They finally lost for him.
Yep, and I'm still going Colorado. And LSU, Mississippi State. I think that's going to be a tough one. I know, are they in Death Valley? Who,
I was wondering that. I'm not sure.
Okay. If they are not in Death Valley, I think LSU will pull it out by maybe 3 points.
If they are in Death Valley?
If they are not in Death Valley.
I'm saying, but what
Points.
if they are in Death Valley?
They may beat them to death if they are in Death Valley.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So I give you 3 points away from the house. But at home, you'll beat them to death.
Let's go. Beat these niggas, man.
I mean, I'm gonna start with NC State Clemson, right? I'm with who? I think that Clemson is they're coming off a bye week, but I'm not really impressed with Clemson. I'm kind of so on Lawrence. I think he has very good talent, but I think Clemson has some demons that they're gonna have to face.
Demons.
And NC State is playing incredible. I got NC State. As far as Colorado, Washington, we saw Washington just drop one against Oregon in overtime. I think Washington's gonna come back very hungry. But I like what Colorado's doing. I'm gonna take Colorado in the upset. Mississippi State, LSU. I'm not going against LSU, man. LSU looked very, very, very impressive against Georgia. Put a good whooping on them. I thought that LSU should have beat Florida last week, but they didn't come to play. They didn't do everything that they needed to. But Florida, shouts out to them, they won. But I'm gonna take LSU over Mississippi State. I think Burrow, he's playing decent. I really like that running back at the number 4. What, Brissett?
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
Step up, Joe. Shit.
Jefferson is playing well. So I'm going to go with LSU with the win. That's who I got.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah. In other news, man, dummy of the week.
Dummy.
Stupid ass dummy.
Dummy.
We saw that police was called on a black man babysitting white children. Yes, I said that right. Police was called on a black man babysitting white children. In Marietta, Georgia, a white woman spotted a black man babysitting 2 white children. She called police and then followed him home. Not only did she call police, she followed my man. Tuesday, the woman stopped Corey Lewis outside a Cobb County Walmart and asked to speak with the kids. Any responsible adult basically refused. Like, no, you're not talking to these kids. These kids are in my care. So he refused to allow the woman to talk to the kids, in which In turn, she then turned around and called police and followed him to his home. An officer arrived and questioned the children ages 6 and 10, and then called their parents, David Parker and Dana Mango. The couple says Lewis is a family friend and their son attends his youth program. Mango says that the officer told her that Lewis was questioned because he was a black man driving around with 2 white children. Has anybody had a chance to see this stupid shit? I saw it. I think it was dumb, and this is why they're on our ticket for the Dummy of the Week.
Shit crazy. You did say 6s and 10. How many 6s is that nigga?
I don't know, but he 1'6", 110.
But yeah, that's weird, man. We have to actually explain yourself for looking after the youth. I really gotta tell you why I'm looking out for these. I'm taking them to Walmart.
And then for you to come and ask me, can I speak to the hell no, you can't speak.
You can't speak.
You crazy.
Yeah.
You look crazy to me. Fuck no, you can't talk to these kids.
Yeah, and get mad, you call the police. And I read a story where they called the kids' parents, and the kids' parents was like, you really calling me for this?
Right.
Like, it's really that serious? You really like that? Do my kids look distressed? Do they look like they're being harmed or hurt?
Right.
Do they look like they were having fun?
Right. They was just in Walmart, man. Like,
Man, when kids are kidnapped, and that is a serious thing, they're not taking the kids to Walmart. No. Like, I'm tired of white folks and their privilege. Like, it needs to be stopped at all costs. Like, well,
we see it
not say all white folks, but these type of incidents that we see, it needs to be some charges brought up. It just do.
And that's the thing that I feel like.
Because I'm paying, like, the money that the police officer has to come investigate that, I'm paying into that. Mm-hmm. And I need to have that same respect.
And not only that, it makes him feel bad as well. Because they was like, he felt horrible, but he had to do that.
Because once it's called, like, he got to do his due diligence.
And my thing is, like, where are we at in the world where, like, we feel like a black man can't babysit kids? You didn't see him treating them unfairly. You didn't see him in it. Fuck all of that shit. My man took the kids to Walmart, and you felt just because a black man was with white kids that you had the authority to just call the police. And that's the thing that we say about privilege sometimes, that like some of these people feel that
white privilege.
I just have the ability to call police just because. And that's the thing that we always say, like, you feel like you can call the police. Like, for you to be able to feel like that you have the authority to call police, it makes it feel like as police is just your friend and only for you. Right. No, the police work for me. And I think a good way to tip it, Can't Get Right brought up a good point. These people who file these false allegations or waste taxpayers' time or have police come out to investigate stupid shit like this, I feel like the consequences need to be flipped back on them.
Are they going to keep doing it?
Right. They're going to keep doing it because they feel like, hey, shit, it's no... let me use my privilege phone.
Like,
hey,
your goddamn
I see
neighbor.
something that looks suspicious. Mm-hmm. We sick of that shit, man. And this man was looking after these kids. These parents thought highly enough for him to... I'm a parent. You know, we've expressed...
It's tough to just leave your kids anywhere.
To leave your kid. You don't really leave your kids with anybody. And so for you to feel comfortable enough to even leave your kids with him speaks volumes to who he is to those parents. And here they are getting a call from some fake concerned neighbor about their kids being just even in his presence. That's some bullshit, and I'm sick of it.
But you know, the real point is, like, this lady thought it was no way that a white person could actually be friends with a black person. She never thought, well, maybe this is just a friend watching over their friend kids. So that's really the most concerning part about it.
Yeah, that shit crazy. White people stop being so white, man. It's cool.
Sunday said white people stop being so white.
For real, man. Like, it's not all, like, if you see that, observe the situation. These kids are having fun picking out candy. Shut the fuck up.
Right. Bro. Leave them alone. And so for that alone, that's why you're getting Dummy of the Week and you deserve it.
Dummy. Fucking dummy. You probably ain't happy at home, dummy.
Yeah, man. And
dummy.
I don't know. I don't know about y'all, but
they know what time it is.
I'm sick of looking at you fucks.
And I'm finna slap the shit out of Hootie for his Kanye.
Hey, yeah, well, let's jump that nigga.
It was bipolar. Hey,
when we leave
I was not defending Kanye. I was strictly saying, what if he
really
bipolar? Really
bipolar. We'll be back next week, episode 6. Yeah, dig.
You bitch.
Yeah.
Dummy.